Hi, this is Sharon from Sharon Shed Signs and Designs, if we haven't met, and I am live on my page and Decoupage Central. I came on just a minute early to make sure that with the way I have this set up, you can see everything, and I can tell there that you can. Let me get us on my Chromebook so that I can see comments a little closer. All right, almost there. All right, good to go. Hey, Maggie, how are you this morning? It's a hot day again here today. I think after today it's supposed to be a tiny bit cooler, not much. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Good to see you guys. Everybody, if you'd say hi, I'd appreciate it. Hi, Carol. So I'm watching comments both places on the Decoupage Central page and my page. And I will try to say hi to everybody as I see it. Hey, Gloria, how are you? And Gina. Hey, Robin. Good to see you guys. I got a fun project I'm excited to do today. So I think it might take a while, so I'm going to get started here in a minute. Hey, Robin. Beautiful and cool in Colorado. Oh, Maggie, I wish I was there. It is so hot here. So very hot, but I know there's other places that are warmer. So anyway, I've got a 16-inch round from Walmart, and it's got so that it looks like it's got slats, which I wanted. Hey, Brenda, how are you? And Donna, you're having lunch and watching me? Awesome. Good, good, good. I don't see any comments on the Decoupage Central page yet. All right, I'm going to get started painting this. I'm going to be using 3 different paint inlay sets today. I'm going to use Ditzy Bloom, Lattice Rose, and Spring Melody. And those are all in stock. And I did want to tell you that if you don't already know, that everything IOD is going to have a price increase next week. So if you're interested in these, now would be a good time to get them and save a little money. 91 there in Kentucky. Yeah, that's about, I don't know if it's only 88 here so far, but it's really humid and it's going to get in the 90s. So, but it sounds like you're worse than us. Hey, Jeanette, how are things in Washington? I hope good. Yeah, I think it does too, Maggie. I'm going to paint this bottom one white. I'm going to get a brush and get started. I did, while I was sitting here a few minutes ago, stain the sides of the board with watered down burnt umber. I wanted the sides to be a consistent color. So I decided to stain it. May need to tape this, but I think I can do it without taping it. The glare of my lights, I'm kind of having a hard time seeing whether I'm getting that, but it looks like I am. So I think this is going to be fun and it's going to be cute. Hey, Kathy. In Montana, how is Montana? Cloudy but not raining yet, Jeanette? There's a chance we could get a shower this evening that would cool us off a little bit. That would be great. After all the rain we had this spring, and I didn't think it was ever going to be summer, and I don't know. It's hard to say I wish it would rain, but I do. Okay. I think I have got that pretty close. All right. That's the white one. These are all going to be different colors. I'm going to use lots of brushes today. Same there, Elizabeth. You're in your shop painting, Jeanette. Good deal. All right, I'm going to use Folk Art Hazy Moon next. I wanted kind of a pale yellow, and this was as close as I had. So, you got your first inlay this week. Now to use it. They're fun. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Check Decapod Central. Nope, no comments. Okay. Let's see. A brush. That's what I need. Yeah, I think that's going to be the right color that I want. In the bottle, I didn't think it looked like it was maybe even yellow, but now I see it is. I thought about making this chippy in a few places, but I didn't think about that until last minute. And I think I've decided no. Because if I wanted it chippy, I would have painted the whole board with the burnt umber stain, and I did not do that, so chippy it's not. But I still think it will look old. Now it looks like there really is slots there, so that's good. I should not have put that brush in water because I'm going to need it again, but anyway, so I'll lay this one out. I'm going to do this next board in cranberry. Good thing I have several brushes. Let's see. Thank you, Donna. Next time, chippy, yeah. It'll be old looking without being chippy, I think. Okay. I probably should take this off while I'm doing this, but I'm not gonna. Got one little spot of red on the yellow. And I got that fixed. So what's everybody up to today? I'm going to go to exercise after this. And then I have to make my daily run to Walmart. If I don't, they'll miss me. You used Fusion Mineral Paint on your quilt stencil last night for the first time? Yeah, yeah. It's not as thick as chalk paint. Chalk paint is really easier to stencil with, but the results of the fusion mineral in the end is probably better. And sometimes the chalk paint can run on you when you put a top coat on you, depending on what colors you've used. I have had that happen when I use something bright, and get carried away spraying the top coat on there. All right, let's see. I'm going to use Fusion Mineral Paint Eucalyptus next. I thought about Bayberry, but I decided I didn't want it to be that dark, so Eucalyptus is what it's going to be. And it's shut, so I need a toothpick. I haven't used eucalyptus in a while. Don't know why not. It's a pretty color. Yeah, the running on the chalk paint and the reactivating of it is a problem. It does happen. Unless you're very careful. And I'm not that person. The last few times I've used Inlays, I've used chalk paint. That's supposedly the better way to do it, but I think that using acrylics might be the best way for me. Or mineral paint. All right, and lastly, I'm going to use peony. It's another fusion mineral. And it's got a pink booger on there. Come on. There we go. Very pale pink. I think I'm going to have to clean up the edges of my board. I just got paint on that. And probably other places too, but I'll fix this one since I see it. Okay. All right. A little bit of pink on my eucalyptus. There, all fixed. I'm going to dry this, and then we're going to start doing inlays in a second. A canvas piece, you can use like a, it depends on what you're doing. I've used a spray Mod Podge. It's just a sealer. I also like, I use what I use a lot of times, the Fusion Mineral Paint Tough Coat or the Minwax polyacrylic, or I like just the wax. I mean, chances are it's going to be used in the house, so I really like just the wax. Good, I'm glad you like my colors. All right, it's pretty well dry. Gonna use, where's my sander? There it is. And just slightly sand it. Get rid of some of the brush strokes. All right. Now I'm going to need a new white paintbrush because I stuck that one in the water. So I'm going to put another light coat of vintage white folk art on here. So it's wet to lay my paint inlay on. Okie dokie. That should be enough white. Then I'm going to use a paint inlay from Lattice Rose. I'll lay that down. And then I wet a shop towel before the live and put it in a baggie so it'd stay moist. I'm just going to press this down and dampen it. And you want to just blot, not rub, or you'll smear your inlay. I can tell you all these things from experience, trust me. I've done it. All right. Another coat of yellow. I threw my shop towel on the floor and I'm going to need it again. Ooh, there it is. You have the lattice rose? Perfect. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see, get my yellow brush. And this again is Hazy Moon by Folk Art. It's really, I thought it was a pale yellow, but it's looking brighter on here than what I thought. A little more. All right. I've got this in 2 pieces. So, you know it matches up. Here. Okay. That one down. And then I'm going to match my ribbon right up to it. Like that all down. Wait a minute. I'm thinking, well, I'm already committed. Thinking it should have been the other way, other direction, but you know what, it'll be okay. You can also do this with a mister and just spray, but I tend to spray too much. Okay. You don't want a real thick coat of wet paint when you put your inlays down. So this one is from, what is this one from? I don't remember. I thought I wrote it on the back, but if I did, oh yeah, there it is. This one, no, I didn't write it on the back. This one is from, this one is from Lattice Rose also. No, I want to go this way. I've got a second piece, which matches up to the flowers right there. Kind of got purple or cranberry all over that eucalyptus, but I'm going to fix it now. Anyway. And this is from, I didn't write it on there either. Well, I'll be darned. Think Ditzy Blooms, but let me check. No, it's from Lattice Rose again. Okay. Make sure these are going in the right direction. Should be there. And match that up there. Okay. Sure it all gets pressed down into the paint. Okay. And lastly then, thank you, Elizabeth. Hi, Donnell. How are you? All right. And lastly, I'm going to use some roses from, oh, they're from here, from Spring Melody. Let's see. Which I did have that wrote on the back. All right. Let's dry these real quick like. Hey, Phyllis. Yeah, I like the damp cloth overspraying because I seem to overspray. Get them too wet. You like the transfers, Jean? You can let this dry naturally for like 10 minutes to an hour, and that's the best way to do it. All right, I think they're dry. So back to my washcloth. I'll wet this first one. Give that just a minute or two and start peeling it back. What are the strips I'm using? They're paint inlays. They are the Spring Melody, some from Lattice Rose, and one from Ditzy Blooms. So, all paint inlays from IOD, available at Decoupage Central. Let's see if this one will come up. And if it gives you any resistance, you put it back down and maybe wet it some more. And these can be reused. The more you reuse them, of course, the fainter and more rustic looking they're going to be, because this is actual paint. All right. I love that one. Can you see that? Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. Have I wet? No, I thought maybe I wet that one, but I didn't. So you wet them twice, once when you put them down, and then again when that is dry and you want to start peeling them up. They are not hard at all. I have messed them up every possible way, I think. But I love them. All right. This is the one I put on upside down, but I wish I wouldn't have, but I did. Wet it just a little bit more. Try it again. And what I like about these is they're not perfect. They do look old. Just that one. Because I did this one in 2 pieces. Again. But you see what I mean about it. It's going to look old even if I didn't chippy it. Loving it so far. All right, now to what I think is going to be my favorite, this cranberry one. But I will say that I'm having much better luck using Fusion Mineral and acrylic paints than I did with chalk paints. And it's me, I'm sure. But you got to do what works for you. Give it just a second. Those are all pushed down in there good. Okay. Oh yeah, loving this one. Loving it. I'm laying those over there to dry, and then I'll put them back to use again. That is pretty. That's pretty. All right, 2 more to go. How am I doing on time? Okay. I am going to sand around the edges of my board when I get these up. I think this one's going to be really pretty too. This one, I believe, was from the Ditzy Blooms. So paint inlays seem kind of expensive, but you get a bunch of them and they can be reused. And they're just super cool. It's tearing. Start down at the other end. Okay, now I got it going. So if you like the chippy old-fashioned look, I think these are beautiful. All right, last one. Needs to wet it a little bit. That is awesome. So there they all are. I think it's really pretty. I'm going to give it a quick sand around the edges. I'm really happy with this. I'm going to have a hard time selling it. I just might have to keep it. Okay, guys, this was fun. I hope you like it. I will be live again Saturday on Stencil of the Month Club, and then I will be live Sunday at 2. I hope you guys can join me. I hope that you like this. I think it's awesome. You know, I don't know whether I want to put wax on there or not. I may put a little Tim Holtz Distressed Oxide around the edges. Yeah, that I like. Yep, I like that. This is Tim Holtz Distressed Oxide in Vintage Photo. It's my favorite. It comes in a lot of different colors, but this is the one I use most often. And it is that I want to look a little older. Okay, now it's good. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will post a picture of this where you can see it better. Can I stencil over these? Yes, I can. It's paint. So you can do anything that you could do over paint. If you wanted to add welcome, yes, you can do that. It would be perfect. Tim who? Holtz, Holtz. I'll find one that's not quite as dirty as that one. It's you can also look it up under Ranger Distressed Oxide. This is the one in tea dye. Hobby Lobby used to have them. I don't think they do anymore. Michael's probably does. I order mine on Amazon. And like I said, it comes in a lot of different colors, but the one that I use all the time is the Vintage Photo. So if you need a link or something, Jeanette, let me know. Thank you, Becca. Thank you, everybody. So you all have a wonderful day. I hope to see you later this weekend. And stay cool. Love you guys. Bye-bye.